Here Come The Runts is the latest album from AWOLNATION. We are joined by Aaron from the band. Welcome back to the Bay Area.
Thank you for having me in the Bay Area.
We are in particular at the Oakland Fox Theater.
Yeah, this is our first Oakland show, actually. We played in the city, and being someone who bleeds silver and black, it's really special to be on these streets right now and play this beautiful historic venue.
I was going to ask you about that. When was the last time you were in Oakland? Did you go to a game or anything?
No,
like that?
Because I was an LA Raiders fan originally, and to be very real with you, I like to watch my games in the comfort and safety of my own home, because the things I say and the way that I act shouldn't be seen publicly. So I just keep it in the house, and my wife resents Sundays very much because of that.
This album's been out for a little bit. How does it feel as it's out in the world now? Because you've been working on it for some time.
It feels great to have it out. It's still so new because it only came out, you know, a handful of weeks ago, and then we just started.
But I guess I'm referring to the various singles and videos that have been coming out, right?
Sure, but even, you know, each night you can tell that people are more educated and familiar with the songs than the night before. So, you know, it takes a minute to learn songs completely, and not everybody's so psychotic like I am, where they would listen to a song a million times or whatever. And so it's just been nice, and you know, we're just building this thing brick by brick, and stuff's going really good. The feedback has been extremely positive, and the shows have been great, and I kind of have my eyes set on what shows will look like, you know, a year into this record cycle, and how much better we'll become, and how much better the crowd will be too, you know, at being at these shows and singing along and kind of knowing what we're trying to do. And because, you know, when you make a record and start touring, you expect a lot out of your audience as well. So I'm reviewing them as much as they're reviewing me on stage, and you know, so I can't wait to skip ahead to when we're further along out of the honeymoon phase of our relationship.
That's interesting to hear you say that you also gauge the audience as much as they're gauging you, right? Because I think that as an artist, you feel sometimes you're obviously on the spot, but at the same time you want feedback.
Yeah,
right?
I can't ignore what's happening. You know, if it's a really energetic crowd and people are losing it, I have a way better show, for sure. And if people are just kind of standing around, there's a lot to see. We're doing a lot of stuff on stage. There's great musicians in the band on stage, and I'm not referring to myself at all, but the guys that join me on stage are A-list musicians, some of the best in the world. So if I was in the crowd, I'd probably just watch it and take it all in. Lights, there's this whole story we're trying to tell. But you know, growing up in the hardcore scene and the punk rock scene, and getting to see some great underground hip-hop shows growing up too, like I really want that energy, which is a lot to ask. So anytime people don't sweat as much as I do, I feel like it's a little bit of a letdown.
The track Handyman, of course, is the one that people are getting latched onto right now, and it really emphasizes and showcases your vocals and your guitar work and all that. When was that written, and how fast was that?
It was written over a year ago, or maybe just maybe right around a year ago, and pretty simple chord progression. Most pop songs, or most songs that are at radio, have simple chord progressions, you know, and it came out of me pretty quick, pretty easy to record, and then I was running, and weirdly I was listening to this Peter Cetera song a bunch that was...
Which one?
If I Ever Fall in Love, I think it's called.
Well, was that a duet?
With Amy Grant, yeah. And it's a hilarious
song. That just exposed both of us, I think, right?
Or just showed how cool we are, kind of, you know? But maybe it's not. Anyways, it's called something like that, and I was just, the cadence of that was so interesting, so I wanted to have the cadence of this chorus explode without it being on the one. So yesterday is pushed before the one hits. This is getting a little bit technical, but, and also to have a song where the chorus lifted off without me necessarily singing louder or higher, where a lot of songs in the past, or songs tend to do that, you know, when a chorus kicks in. So I was sort of challenging myself to keep it in the same range and have the chorus build once within itself. So, you know, the chorus kicks in, it doesn't go straight to 11, but kind of you go, okay, here's a chorus, this plane is taken off, and it goes higher and higher as the chorus moves on, and then there's a post-chorus, and there's like 5 different licks of the same kind, saying differently, which was sort of a sarcastic thing that I was trying to do. And then the lyrics just came out of me, and I felt like it was a fun thing to talk about, you know, the idea of being a handyman of someone's soul, or, you know, going back in time and warning, you know, a loved one, maybe yourself, of you know, things to come, for better, for worse, and how you could help maybe fix them. And then, you know, lyrically, especially in the second verse or the first verse, both verses, there's a few things in there. You know, I wrote the song around the election, so emotions were elevated at the time for everyone all around, and I was just trying to keep my footing through that whole thing. And now, still, obviously, if you turn on the news, it seems like the world's going to end yesterday, right? So, it's the feeling of the song, to me, gives a little bit of hope on certain subject matters that are pretty dark.
Really, really love the music.
Thank you.
Happy for your recognition.
Thank you.
I know you've got a lot more in you to prove.
It's never about recognition of me as a person,
Sure,
or an entity, or some sort of fame or celebrity or anything like that, but the songs mean so much to me, and, you know, they do something for my heart and soul that other songs have done for me, and they make me feel better, and they've, you know, music's always helped me get through the day, and it's done, you know, these little songs I've written have reached a point where they affect people in a positive manner. So anything we could do to spread that joy, or therapy, if you will, I think it's a great thing.
Yeah. Well, I, for one, subscribe to that therapy, and appreciate your time.
I appreciate yours as well.
Congratulations on the album.
Thank you.
Best of luck for the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
You too.
It
Take
is
care.
Aaron from AWOLNATION. Here Come The Runts, his latest album with the band, and you're watching B-Sides on Air.